Welcome to Section 6 of Built-Up Roofing Damage Assessment. This section is titled Inspection and Repair. In this section, we're going to look at the different types of test cores you may want to take on a built-up roof, what sort of repair options exist for built-up roofing, and also some of the equipment that's involved in doing repairs and roof replacements. A test core is a name for a sample cut from the roof system. Now, it's important to realize that there are different types of cores that can be taken for different purposes. One thing to realize is if you're just out there doing an inspection, you should not do a cut or opening in a roof yourself. You should make sure the building owner has knowledge of this, has given permission, and also that core and also repair of it is done by an adequately trained and licensed contractor. And so if you're just an inspector, you shouldn't be doing the core. Different types of cores can be taken. One, if you're just trying to determine the number of roof systems that are involved in the roof, what is the full cross section, you can take a fairly small core, and there can be circular coring tools that would just give you a plug of the roof system. If you're trying to determine, is there moisture in the system, that also can be a fairly small roofing core just to look for moisture in the insulation board. If you're trying to take a test cut to determine, is there damage from hail impact, then that's got to be a slightly larger core opening, and it's got to be done at an area where you believe that hail struck large enough force that there's at least a potential to find something in that core area. And then it normally would have to be sent off to a lab for them to de-asphalt and determine, is there impact damage to that built-up roofing felt. The photographs on this slide show some different examples of people making test cut or core openings into built-up roofs using various tools and equipment. With built-up roofing and aggregate ballast and flood coat, normally you're going to use a spud bar, as is shown in the center photograph, and that scrapes away the gravel and it scrapes away the flood coat itself. For a test core looking for damage, at Hague we've actually made a 1 foot by 1 foot template that can be put over the area of interest, and that the person in the right photograph there is actually standing on that template, and that is covering and protecting all of the gravel and all of the material that's underneath the template while they're cleaning off and spudding the roofing around on all sides before they make the test cut. Because you must take care not to damage the roofing that you want to examine. Once the cut is made, you have to extract it, and at that point you can check to see how many roof layers are in place, is there any moisture in the insulation, or any visible fractures or punctures in the roof system. In the photograph on the right, we're seeing that we've exposed down to the metal deck. And so it's good to go all the way down to the deck level and see just how many layers are in place on your given roof. Whether it's a storm-related repair or we're just talking about repairing our core, here's the standard procedures to go through. First, you'd be removing any damaged or wetted materials, including the layers of insulation if they are wet. You would be reinstalling dry insulation. Now, cleaning, this is mainly involving the spud bar and cleaning off the dirt and grime and the weathered asphalt and getting down to clean asphalt. The good news is new asphalt can be applied to old asphalt as long as you do the spudding and cleaning. And if there's any concern with that, you also can apply an asphalt primer. Then you're going to rebuild the system with either hot or cold applied materials. This can be different types of hot or cold bitumen and reinforcement felts. Then you're going to want that repair area to extend at least 4 inches beyond where you did a removal or where you're trying to tie in. The materials used for repair can be various. They can be standard built-up roofing felts, or you can use modified bitumen membrane. The mod bit membrane can be torch applied, it can be applied with hot mopping, or there's even various peel and stick self-adhering modified bitumen membranes. Alternatively, you can use reinforcement felts with plastic asphalt cement, or you can use standard built-up roofing felts in hot asphalt and then apply whatever surfacing you want to match what's existing. Here we're going to go through the steps of that as we see on a particular built-up roof. The court area is being rebuilt. In number one, they are spudding the gravel and the flood coat around the repair area. In photograph number two, they are using a self-adhered modified bitumen membrane, and they are peeling the plastic sheeting off the bottom to expose the side that's going to be adhered. Photograph three, they are putting that modified bitumen down in place and then applying enough pressure to get it to bond. Number four, another modified bitumen membrane is being applied, a second ply on top of it with torching. It would not always be necessary to use torch application. You could have 2 layers of self-adhered if you wish. In this example, they are using hot application of the second layer. Photograph 5 shows that molten asphalt in the bottom of the modified bitumen membrane being pressed into place. Number 6 is showing the final state of the modified bitumen membrane. Now, if you wanted to get the gravel ballast back on it to match existing, you could either just spread it on loosely, or you could use some type of cold applied bitumen to get the loose gravel ballast to stick and adhere in that area. When you're using one of these hand applied torches to heat up a modified bitumen membrane, that is going to make that membrane very soft and molten, and you do have to use care. Here, our roofing technician is actually standing on that new membrane, but he's also standing on a wood fiber board to protect the membrane while he is putting that pressure on it to get it to bond to the existing roof. These photographs show an example of a repair made with just a fiberglass reinforcement and plastic asphalt cement. These would be used mainly on smaller openings or repair areas. If you're getting into large repairs or into the actual roof removal, the contractor will likely be using equipment like this power saw. That's going to cut through the roofing and then allow different chunks of the roofing to be removed and disposed of. If there's gravel in place, they will also be going over it with a powered broom to sweep away the loose gravel ballast. Once you get the big chunks out, often there still is a lot of handwork to be done by axes and picks to try to remove all the different pieces of roofing and insulation, especially around penetrations, equipment, or smaller areas of roof. No one said roofing is easy. Our asphalt built-up roof, if it's got base sheet, 3 plies, and aggregate ballast, in total it's going to weigh 6 to 7 pounds a square foot, or 600 or 700 pounds per square. The roofing obviously is heavy and also creates a lot of debris, a lot of things that have to be disposed of. Now, because of that, there is an option to do recovers if that is the only roof that's in place. The building codes will permit 2 roof systems to be installed on a low slope roof if the building structure is sufficient to withstand that capacity. So in making that re-roofing decision, you've got to consider the full weight of the roof that's in place and what would be the weight of a second roof system. This would at least delay having to do all of the removal and disposal activities. Here we see a roofing crew at work in doing a recovering of a built-up roofing with hot asphalt. So the kettle is on the ground. That hot asphalt then is being piped onto the roof. They're going to put that hot asphalt into carts and buckets and use to mop on the roof. And they have to take lots of safety precautions to avoid burns and dealing with that hot asphalt. That concludes Section 6. That's the last section for built-up roofing damage assessment. You're going to proceed to the section review quiz, and then the final test. My name is Richard Herzog with Hague Engineering. Thank you for joining us.